Yep, it's me again. They hate us. This, wait. Let me say it more properly like. While the tears keep flowing, yep, it's me again. They hate us. This is why they give a fuck about us at the same time as always. I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones who claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why those punk-ass retarded fucks keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again to talk about women. Oh yes, that's better. Now, fellas, we all now know about the Lindsay Clancy situation. Me personally, Uncle JD decided that he was going to wait it out for a bit before he spoke on it. And of course, for those of y'all who don't know, I believe back in 2023, Lindsay Clancy murdered her 3 children and ended up injuring herself in the process. Not only did she murder all 3 of her children, she confessed. Yes, you heard me, fellas. She confessed to murdering all 3 of her children. But it seems like the court of public opinion. Oh, wait. I need to correct myself on this. It's not the court of public opinion. Let's call it for what it really is. The court of Femintard opinion is trying to do everything they can to try to prove that she's innocent, even though she confessed to the murders. Even coming up with their own version of forensic evidence. And of course, fellas, once again, we have another case. We have another case of facts versus feelings. Another case of facts versus feelings. In which the court of Femintard opinion wants to come out with their own version of forensic evidence, even going as far as to try to accuse her husband of the murders, even though he was out and about making errands. Goddamn, one person can't be at 2 places at one time. Oh, wait a second. One person can't be at too many places at one time. If you think you're lonely now, wait. Hold up. Not a great song for this one. Fuck it. But anyway, before I go any further, shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I'll leave the link to his full video in the comments section. Go check it out. But enough of me babbling. Let's get down to business, shall we?
This story is absolutely incredible. Guys, I have a collection of clips to add on to the story, which is going to add more fuel to my take. But the TLDR, too long, didn't read. A young woman back in 2023 offed her 3 children one by one and then tried to off herself by jumping from a 2nd-story window. She was not successful in her own demise, but she paralyzed herself permanently. Now, This story already is crazy enough as it is, but what if I told you that it gets worse and worse because the TikTok feminists have gathered together to raise $1 million and more? It's growing each and every day after this woman allegedly has admitted to everything. If we were to reverse the roles, the young man in this that would have offed his entire family not only would have never had a GoFundMe offered for him, but also would be currently in a graveyard underneath a damn jail. Now, as we go over this case, understand that this is not a situation of did she do it? It is a situation of should she get life in jail or life in a psych ward? But through the
Either way, either way, either way, it's a life sentence and it's well deserved. Fuck all, fuck all that bullshit they doing. She murdered her kids. She confessed to murdering her kids. What else? What else do the fuck they want? Let's continue.
craziness of the TikTok feminists defending this, finding any way that the husband is guilty in this situation has contributed to the $1 million of a GoFundMe. So we got to get into it. We got to unpack this. I often say on this channel that the world owes you nothing. It owes you no favors, but that's for men. For women, there's an inbred sympathy that you receive irrespective of what it is that you do. And it's a double standard. It is what it is. But pretending
And MTR is telling the truth because look how hard in the paint you got retarded fucks trying to defend these women's behaviors, all because they are women. And Uncle JD himself had to call out a few retarded fucks doing that goddamn shit. But keep this in mind, fellas. If the genders were reversed and it was a man doing that shit, oh, these would be the same retarded fucks letting everybody know how guilty he is and how he should rot in prison. But because it's a woman doing it, oh, they got all the excuses under the sun. But Israel, but J Buzz, you want to talk about women? Shut your punk ass up. Let's continue.
like or acting like this doesn't exist is straight up lying. In this case, absolutely proves it. Now to the source. So here goes the murderer, the child murderer of her own kids. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to also look at is that's the GoFundMe right here. That's the GoFundMe, but please read all of these comments. Feel free to pause just so you guys can internalize these damn comments. Okay.
No. No. Me personally, I don't care what those Femintards has to say. And if you ask me, they all need to get their goddamn head examined. But here's another thing I need to bring out to the forefront right here. It's funny how you got all these retarded fucks who wants to talk about how men need to seek a therapist, men need to seek mental help. But guess what? You got women out there that also need to seek mental health too. You got women out there who also needs a therapist and a psychiatrist. And the motherfucking fact that retarded fucks is only focusing on why the men needs mental help, that right there is sexist as fuck. Yes, y'all heard Uncle JD. If you only focus on one side of the gender seeking mental help, then that right there should be considered sexist. Because they want to ignore the part that everybody needs mental help every now and then. Not just the men, but everybody, women included. Let's continue.
Lindsay, we are with you and your family. You don't deserve any of this. We see the soul in who you are. I will continue to pray for you so that you can find peace you've been looking for and leave this nightmare behind. We want you free. Free is absolutely free is insane, baby. You're free? You want to free?
Oh my
An
Lord.
approved psychosis, okay? Then mental institution for the rest of her damn life. Leave her in there, lock the key in a padded goddamn room. But if they prove that it wasn't psychosis and it was like postpartum depression, lock her in a jail cell.
Lock her ass up.
Freedom for this crazed person, for this lunatic, is absolutely insane, but demonstrates the sister code support for bullshit behavior, irrespective of psychosis, but also a fundamental hate for men. And I'm going to prove to you via TikTok how much these women hate men. And
Don't be surprised, because even I talked about this shit. And there's a reason why Uncle JD will not be on TikTok. In fact, I made a video in regards of TikTok is pro-feminist. Not only is TikTok pro-feminist, but TikTok is chocked full of misandrous, man-hating women, man-hating feminists. After all, wasn't there a TikTok back in 2019? No, 2018 going on 2019, trying to promote kill all men? But everybody's crying, bitching, and complaining about misogyny. Everybody's crying, bitching, and complaining about men hating women. While at the same time want to disregard the fact that there are women who also hate men. And fuck no, we ain't trying to hear these retarded fuck-ass punks trying to sit there trying to make excuses. It is what the fuck it is, and facts don't give a fuck about your feelings. Let's continue.
Much of it goes into her actual GoFundMe support. And I think, and this is going to be another hot take for you, that so many of them can look beyond the actual murder of her children, because many of these women have murdered lives inside of their body. But the sympathy that she is receiving is insane. Let's look at some more of these comments. Call it a woman's intuition. Is that what that one just said? I cannot believe it. Yeah. Yo, if dudes supported dudes the way that women supported women, baby, imagine what we would be able to do. Setting love for
straight up. These dumb bras make it so easy for us to talk about women. Let's continue.
Utah, call it a woman's intuition. I never believed for 1 second that Lindsay was a cold-blooded monster. She was failed. Real women see a part of us in her. Now, before we go over to TikTok to diagnose...
so basically what she's trying to say is, just like Lindsay Clancy here, she will also murder her children. I pray she don't get no children at all. And if she does have children, CPS needs to be called. Yeah, I said it. Fuck your feelings. If you're mad, I will not apologize. Let's continue.
These crazy people. Let's go over the news report real quick. Last month, my Facebook page alone generated over 13,000.
Lindsay Clancy's defense attorney continuing to argue the Massachusetts mother was suffering from postpartum psychosis when she killed her 3 children in 2023. Her former mother-in-law testifying Clancy was a devoted mom who was struggling with her postpartum health. Clancy has admitted to strangling her children, but has pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of first-degree murder by reason of insanity, arguing a combination of psychiatric drugs prescribed after the birth of her 3rd child made her postpartum psychosis worse. In court, attorneys reading messages she sent to her mother-in-law, but prosecutors say Clancy planned it all, intending to kill her children and herself. The defense calling on a forensic psychiatrist who did not treat Clancy, but reviewed her medical records and testified her doctors may have missed warning signs. Found guilty of first-degree murder.
So wait, so a doctor who wasn't her patient did the records? Okay.
Clancy faces a mandatory sentence of life in prison without parole.
Okay. Now, if the court system determines that she's clinically insane, lock her away in a padded room and throw away the goddamn key. We can all agree on that. But calls to free her and $1 million GoFundMe demonstrate how crazy this man-hating society is. And there's so much sympathy.
Oh, did I also fail to mention? There's a pretty good chance, because this is a because this is a criminal case, there's a pretty good chance she won't see a single cent of that money at all. I believe GoFundMe and other donation sites have updated their rules and updated their terms of service in regards to a situation like this, where you got people donating money for people that are standing trial. I believe so. Let's continue.
Being given to her. But what about the husband in this situation? This man in one night lost his entire family and has most of the internet creating conspiracy theories how he is involved, and calls to have him tried. Whoever created the AI photo here, but like, bravo. yo, bravo. You are marketer of the damn planet. Because her in a wheelchair in the middle sobbing with all of these AI women standing in solidarity. And then you go over here, you look at the donations, 3,000 recent donations, all women, to the tune of almost $1 million. And it is climbing each and every minute. And y'all can take a look, pause the video, and read through what it's for, but it's essentially for her entire family. But now let's listen to a forensic scientist describe why she's probably guilty.
Just because stupid people on the internet don't understand something, that doesn't mean that there's a conspiracy theory afoot. I'm a forensic scientist and a former CSI, and if there is one thing that I have learned since posting...
Now, listen to a professional here. Not some TikTok Femintard, but a professional. Say it straight up, exactly what it is, calling a ball and a strike a strike. And no, I have no problem with that.
On TikTok, it's that people on the internet believe everything is a fucking conspiracy. The number of
straight up a fucking conspiracy.
Convinced that Lindsay Clancy is innocent and that actually her husband murdered her children is making my mind want to explode. Yeah. She has admitted that she is the one responsible for killing her children. Okay, she did it. Saying that she didn't is just as stupid as coming on the internet and saying that Brian Koberger is innocent. He is not. He murdered 4 people. He said out his own mouth that he did in fact murder those people. There are conspiracy theories.
And they don't see the men. You don't see the men trying to start GoFundMes for him, nor trying to say that he's innocent. He's a murderer. Off the gate. I'm for this. Let's continue.
In every single case that I talk about, seems like a good time to remind you that everything seems like a conspiracy theory when you don't know what you're talking about. So just because you don't understand the evidence.
And they wonder why they call it the court of public opinion. Oh, I'm sorry, the court of Femintard opinion. Because by the end of the day, it is what the fuck it is. Your fucking opinion. And it doesn't matter how much you're entitled to it. Your opinion is not facts. Plain and simple, simple and plain.
In this case, and you don't understand how a mother could murder her 3 children doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you can't understand how somebody could stab 4 people so quickly or how he could not have blood in his car doesn't mean he's innocent. It just means you don't know shit about forensic science. It is so gross to come on the internet.
So have several seats and shut the fuck up forever. You man-hating Femintard TikTokers giving out your wannabe amateur retarded fuck ass CSI bullshit. Let's continue.
And pretend that this is a TV show. Fictional shows, fictional books, fictional movies about crime, those have lots of twists and turns and unexpected killers because real life crime is boring. And it's not exciting to make a show about a crime where you know who did it within the first 5 minutes. Yeah. And once again, if you think that this case is going to be cracked wide open because of a different color temperature of somebody's shoes on 2 different shitty surveillance videos, you're unwell. You are delusional. And you can tell me I'm arrogant or biased or condescending all you want to, but you guys are nuts. It is so insulting to entertain these conspiracy theories. It is deeply, deeply damaging, not only to Patrick Clancy and the people who know and love him who have to hear you spout your bullshit on the internet. Yeah. It is deeply, deeply insulting to other mothers who are struggling with postpartum psychosis when you come online and invalidate the terrible things that this woman went through. It is deeply...
but straight up, but it's men that need to seek mental help. It's men that need to seek mental therapy. Fuck out of here. Let's continue.
Deeply insulting to the surviving family members of Brian Koberger's victims when you come on the internet and say, I'm just asking questions, spreading misinformation, giving it 1 second of your time and not calling out for what it is, or putting even a tiny, tiny bit of gas on a conspiracy theory flame is so damaging for the actual family members, the actual survivors, the actual loved ones in these cases and dozens of other cases. Real people who will never be able to get closure because their loved ones ended their life via suicide, and there are Reddit threads dedicated to proving that their loved one was actually murdered.
You know what's crazy is that it's majority women. This case has a lot of women's attention because of the alignment with having young children and postpartum depression. But any of these cases that involve men versus women, where man assaulted or there was like domestic violence, in order to try to explain what they do not understand.
And keep this in mind as well, because if it's postpartum depression, okay, look, usually and fellas, I'm going to speak from experience. Postpartum depression often happens, I say, a few months after your girl gives birth to your child. And during that first phase of the baby's life, that's when postpartum depression kicks in. You're gonna feel overwhelmed over your role as a parent. And let's call a ball and strike a strike on this, because yes, I am speaking from experience. I'm a father of 2. Postpartum depression not only affects women, but it also affects men too. Yes, postpartum depression. And yes, women can get it, but women and men both suffer from it. So it has nothing to do with gender here. And if you are a parent, you will understand postpartum depression. Trust me, I've been through that phase twice. Both my kids. Me and my baby mama. So yeah, from experience, that's a hell of a depression. Let's continue.
Oftentimes crafting movie storylines in order to make it make sense to them, which often is just more entertaining for them. Some of their minds are a crazy place. Shit, I've had women in my life that will dream about something and wake up and be mad at me because of what happened within the dream, as if my dream actions are to blame for something in reality. But let's finish up.
People who are dealing with terrible grief, and then you have to come and see these delusional people on the internet talking about the color of their shoes. It's so goddamn gross. It is so fucking gross. It's embarrassing. And as somebody actually involved in criminal investigations, it makes me sick.
I didn't know they were allowing cusses on TikTok like that nowadays. But with all of the
I'm here for it.
all across TikTok, that doesn't get taken down, by the way. My TikTok's currently demonetized. It's actually refreshing to see a smart young woman be analytical about the situation and not afraid to call it how she sees it. Because the horrendous first instinct of many of these young women is to defend by any means necessary. But it's not only defend, but it's blame the nearest man possible in this situation. A confession should be enough for the majority of people on the internet. But even that nowadays, oh, he made her do it. Oh, what a piece of shit, man. Give me the bear. Matter of fact, y'all remember that Chris Watts story from back in 2018? This guy offed his entire family, 2 young girls, and his wife, so he can be with some mistress. This dude was crazy as all hell. And what also made this story interesting is that they had the police capture him on body camera, like in the moment, reacting to them figuring out that he was the damn culprit. But nobody was like, let's support the murderer post-wife psychosis. It's a real thing when it's in the DSM-5. And
Straight up. He murdered his entire family. Once again, you don't see the men trying to raise money for him or commit to his defense. He's a fucking murderer. But somehow, because it's a woman, but that's different. Let's continue.
He's getting the damn sentence that his crazy ass deserves. What's also interesting is it looks like he's got a wife now. Did some 39-year-old realtor named Lindsay Henderson from Cleveland is reportedly trying to get married to him, and that's a picture of her. Y'all sure know how to pick them, huh? But now let's go to the feminist TikTok crazies to find out why apparently she's not guilty.
The lawyer knows she did it. She knows she did it. She confessed to.
Fellas, brace yourselves. Because now we're about to hear the court of the Femintard's opinion.
Doing it, and you're a moron if you think that anything else could be possible, is an absolutely crazy statement. I'm a nurse practitioner who's been a nurse for 16 years, and I've worked as a neuro-ICU nurse for part of that time, and as an ER nurse for part of that time as well. I have a lot of experience taking care of patients with psychiatric conditions at this point, and until anybody can provide me with a valid and reliable science-based explanation as to how they ruled out Patrick Clancy in 24 hours, and also how they ruled out confabulation wasn't the reason behind her confession that nobody has a recording of, I'm going to sit here and say with full confidence that it is not logical to think that she is the only person that could have been responsible for these acts. No one has been able to logically explain either of those things. And from a medical standpoint, especially as somebody who worked as an ICU nurse, it is wild to me that we are not being provided with an explanation as to why confabulation is being ruled out when we know that Lindsay had ICU delirium at one point. And we know she had a psychiatric history and just endured a super duper traumatic event. Like, what the heck, guys?
I was gonna.
She needs to get her medical license revoked. And this is supposed to be someone in the medical field? How fucking embarrassing.
Say, what does her husband say about this? But I guess we got that answer.
That's the truth.
Confabulation, by the way, is when your brain fills in a gap in your memory with a made-up story. A story that the person will believe is completely true. So essentially they're saying that she may have convinced herself that she did it when she really did it because...
Yeah, but did she also convince herself to try to kill herself? To try to kill herself when jumping out a window? Or did she picture herself jumping out the window and landing right on her toes? Does that diagnosis explain that shit? Let's continue.
She lost her memory. But morons like this seem to forget that the young lady hurled herself off of a second-story window, right, which also could have contributed to the memory loss, and that it was proven that no one else was in the home at the time. But yay woman, let's muddy the waters to confuse the general public with conspiracy theories as much as possible. But wait, there's more.
Okay, check this out. It's really crazy.
Okay.
Lindsay Clancy's birth chart.
What? Leos don't kill Geminis do? Oh, he's a Gemini. Jill for him. That's all I need to know. Well, God damn it, Shannon. You cracked the case. He's a Gemini. He's a guilty man.
Yes, he's guilty because of his zodiac sign. Yes, his zodiac sign make him guilty. And the fact that they think that zodiac signs points out killers makes these Femintards retarded as fuck. Let's continue.
Who's the bear? Moon at 22 degrees kill or be killed degree. Olivia, God damn it, woman. Aquafinks. Oh, you already know it's going to be interesting with a name like that. The fact her trial is during Lionsgate. What? It means things are turning in her favor. Oh, she's a Leo. Oh, she so loved those babies and very protective. For all you dudes out there that talk to these women about a circle, moon, star, square sign, Aquarius, moonleaf rising shit, talk to these women out as if that shit is serious. You're feeding their goddamn delusion. This is absurd.
I mean, this is some retarded shit.
You can disregard the ascendant, descendant, IC, vertex, and all the houses. I need a birth time. So like not all these aspects are necessary.
Forensic astrology?
You don't really know. I just put it in you. But first of all, I need to show. Okay, so notice anything here? She's got a North Node Aquarius, South Node Leo. She's in her node return right now.
It's been a while, but I have to pop on here just to say that I've been following this Lindsay Clancy trial, especially as a mother of two who dealt with a lot of postpartum mental illness. And
this is horrific.
You know, just following all their birth charts and birthdays and zodiac signs. He did it. He's a Gemini man. His birthday is June 15th. I'm a Gemini woman. My birthday is June 14th. Let me give you another example of who a Gemini man is. Also birthday June 14th.
Who impregnated this woman?
Men and women are different. Keep that in mind.
By the way, this is why the Electoral College exists. Because her vote matters just as much as mine without the Electoral College.
Please don't judge me. Donald Trump.
Oh, you gonna get all types of judgment. You come on here, like all the others, with your zodiac forensic files retarded fuck shit, and you think a person's zodiac makes them guilty. How fucking retarded are you, ma'am? Let's continue.
Patrick did it.
Case solved.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So if you're watching the Lindsay Clancy case, I've already gone over
how do you take these people's
astrology charts that show that the perpetrator is a male, the perpetrator is having an affair, and that the victims, specifically Lindsay, was drugged during this. And I've also gone over with the theory and the lie detection.
I'm telling you all right now, when the South Node goes into Cancer in March of 2028, the South Node is going to transit over Patrick Clancy's moon in Cancer. He's going to be having eclipses over his natal moon, which is home, family, emotions.
Dog, she's the one that's being diagnosed as psychosis, but we live and breathe next to women that are active daters in our society that are going through mass psychosis.
Emotional life. And then it gets better. 2029, all the way into 2030, he is going to have eclipses over his Gemini faces. The South Node is going to move over his Sun, his Mercury retrograde, his Venus retrograde. It's going to get real interesting in the next, 3 to 4 years for him. I'm going to be I can't wait for this.
On today's episode of Femintard's Zodiac Forensic Files, we have another dumb broad trying to use the Zodiac to try to prove that Lindsay Clancy's husband was the one who murdered the children, despite her confession. The retarded fuckery is real, and once again, they make it so easy for us to talk about women. Let's continue.
Man, to be humble, and for karma to do its thing.
All right, yeah. Now imagine losing your family, and this is the sentiment online. Holy moly. These nut jobs will step through whatever illogical loopholes that they can find to blame men. Meanwhile, I don't know if you guys know this, the #1 killer of children under the age of 1 are women. And I'm talking after birth, okay? Because we already know after conception, before birth, Of course they are, right? Just by biology. But let's not talk about that. Let's sweep that under the rug because sugar, spice, and everything nice.
All right, he did it. Patrick did it. Patrick's the one who did it.
This is an actress.
Not Lindsay. Patrick did it because I also heard that women typically don't strangle. So awful to even say.
Bullshit. The fuck you mean women don't strangle their kids? Because I will do a complete thorough search of each and every woman who strangled their kids to death, ma'am. But please entertain us with your retarded logic.
Hey, but that isn't what a woman would do. They don't strangle. I was actually in therapy today, and my therapist and I were talking about it, and I said, well, what do they do? She said, well, they poison, or I said, or drown them.
This is...
Like, we literally had that conversation today.
Well, at least I'll give it to her that she is an active person who sought mental therapy. But how the fuck you gonna sit there and claim that women don't strangle their kids when there are numerous cases of women strangling their kids? The fuck is you talking about, ma'am? Let's continue.
And she looks at me and she goes, he did it. I was like, wow, yeah. And now,
the therapist said that.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the cop.
Then her therapist needs to be fired. Better yet, how can her therapist make that conclusion? Especially coming from her patient. Not the facts and evidence, but her patient. Make the retarded logic make sense.
Collagen from your lips has broken free and infiltrated your brain and is now clouding your damn judgment. She murdered 3 little blessings, and the therapist says he did it. Oh, talk about the most useless therapist on planet Earth.
So I keep seeing people talk about the Lindsay Clancy.
Oh, we got another one.
Conservatives are asking themselves, how did we get here as a society where a huge number of women are defending Lindsay Clancy, who murdered 3 of her children by strangling them to death? What is wrong with the women right now? And I'll tell you how we got here. It's because over 25% of women in America today have done exactly what Lindsay has done.
Oh.
They did the exact same thing. They murdered their children, right? They murdered their helpless, innocent children.
Okay. I take it back. She ain't like the court of the Femintard's opinion. She's actually stating facts. Let's continue.
And all because they didn't want them. They were in the way. And so of course they empathize with her. Of course they're trying to cover up their own guilt for what they did by justifying what another woman did when she snuffed out her own children. It's the natural way that you try to cope with sin, right? If you have a problem with drinking, you surround yourself with other people who drink a lot. If you have a problem with cursing, you surround yourself with people who curse a lot. If you have a problem with murder, if you murdered your child and haven't repented for it, then you justify other people who murdered their children, and you all can sit around and ignore the feeling of being a monster because, well, we all did it, right? So it's not that bad. That's what's at play right now. That is what's happening, is we have a bunch of women who actually have murdered their own children, and so when they see
Then again, let's let her cook, because she is cooking.
Another woman who murdered their own children, they empathize with her, they sympathize with her, and they justify it because, well, she had a reason, right? That's what's happening right now. And our nation desperately needs to repent of our child sacrifice, whether it's children in the womb or children outside of the womb.
Wow, I didn't even look at it like that. Fellas, let's not call it abortion anymore. Let's just call it for exactly what it is. Child sacrifices. I believe in the Bible. That's exactly what I believe in the Bible. That's exactly what the Molechs were doing, sacrificing children. I need to go back and read that book again. Let's continue.
It's a problem, and it is definitely impacting society in serious ways that we've been ignoring for a long time, and now it's just become like so in our face that we can't ignore it anymore, and people are asking how we got here. Child sacrifice. That's how we got here.
Whoa, I think base take. No matter what,
child sacrifice,
or if you're on the side of pro-life versus pro-choice, I think we can all agree that the pro-life side of this paints women as more victims than they are perpetrators. I think with 30 forms of birth control in a free world, you can take whatever precaution is necessary to not get pregnant. But acting as if these things
like this solution right here, and this is a damn good solution. If you don't want a baby, they don't have a baby, let's continue.
Just happen. And for that of a quarter of the population, there's a lot more perpetrators that inevitably have to make that decision than they even want to talk about.
Yep, my kids. She's crazy. That's so sad. And then she jumped out the window and is a paraplegic now. It's weird that you got into a relationship 4 months later, though. What's weird about that? I don't know if my entire family was annihilated and my significant other was a paraplegic after jumping out of the window after doing that. I don't know if I would be dating.
I'm going to say this very slowly, so maybe even you can understand. Men don't owe women anything, especially women who murder their children. I love the intention of the language there, right? If my children were annihilated and my partner was paralyzed. I'm sorry, you mean if your children were murdered by the partner who then paralyzed herself after. Is that what you're trying to say? I'm watching more of this trial and realizing how much misinformation is out there. I mean, there's even a video going viral right now of women being like, see, when the officers came in, Patrick Clancy was just sitting on the couch. I mean, what kind of innocent man would just sit on a couch? But then I actually watched the testimony
and which that is stupid because, as I said, Patrick Clancy can't be at two places at one time. The police found him on the couch, but while the murder was taking place, Patrick Clancy was out doing errands. Two places at one time. Make the retarded logic make sense. Let's continue.
That's not what the officer said. The officer said that he was screaming and crying that he couldn't save his children. He wasn't sitting down at all. They took a clip from a different part of the trial. They're doing this very intentionally because Patrick Clancy never called Lindsay crazy. In fact, Patrick Clancy seems to actually be on Lindsay's side, defending her in many instances, calling her a great mother. It's just unfortunate for him that he's finding out on the stand in real time while defending her that she's been lying to him about a bunch of stuff, seemingly embarrassing him even more. Ooh. Also, I can't say for certainty, but I'm pretty sure that Patrick moved on about a year later, in which even if it was 4 months later, I have to ask, who fucking cares? If a man murdered a mother's children,
nobody should care.
Women criticize her for moving on. Sorry, but if somebody murdered my children, I'm not wasting another thought on you. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, these are the same women that are getting angry when people try to remember and give sympathy to the children.
Now, great take, Via Roma. Now, what's interesting is that women will hear takes like this and take it to another level. Watch this new sick trend that I'm seeing popping up on TikTok.
I'm completely overwhelmed trying to take care of the kids. I'm drowning every day. I feel guilty that I'm spending my family's money and not making any. I feel like I spend way too much. She wrote that, right? Correct. I'm terrified of Callan getting sick.
Now you're hearing a testimony from the trial in the background, and this is a random cuckoo woman that is trying to normalize what is being said within the trial to her own experiences. So many of these women are admitting that they want to their children.
He's a sick baby. A sick baby is miserable. He's sick now with a double ear infection. Clearly has a...
And this is why CPS needs to investigate. And I don't give a fuck what punk has a problem with that. I mean, if you got women like this putting her sick thoughts on social media, then of course, as a parent and other parents out here, of course, that draws red flags. And God help us if another woman does this shit, tries to play copycat. I mean, this shit is sick as fuck. Let's continue.
Bellyache. It's miserable. I feel like the other kids are going to get him sick all winter long. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
I always feel strongly against sleep training. I feel like it's abusive to let the baby cry and not respond, but I made the decision. I did it with Cal. It is way too much crying. It's incredibly stressful. She wrote that, right?
Correct.
He's okay. He will be okay. It's not harmful in any way. The doctor said it was okay. Plenty of people sleep train their kids at that age. It's necessary as a third child, is what she wrote, right?
Correct. So yeah, I'm not going to play all 2 minutes of this video. Y'all get the idea. If you want to look it up on TikTok, it's #SameLindsay. Sympathy is not a two-way street. Sympathy seems to be relegated mostly for one gender. And the sympathy is so strong, shedding tears for a murderer. Now, I get it, she has psychosis, but these women will fail to shed tears for the children that will never grow old. Defending somebody just because she is a woman with your contrived stories, utilizing your astrocartography, forensic science, whatever it is that y'all doing in order to justify this bullshit is actually sick. You will go through any...
I agree, and I'm going to stop it right here. But it's not just this. As I stated before earlier, you got retarded fucks defending women no matter what the fuck they do. Shoot, or like the story I said a while back. You had a woman who is sexually abusing a toddler, a little boy, a toddler. And look at all those retarded fucks try to come to her defense because she's a woman. No, that woman is a child predator. And the fact that you got retarded fucks that will go so hard in the paint to defend what these women do, no matter what they did, that right there is sick as fuck. And they are one, they need to get their goddamn heads examined. But as Uncle JD said in the end, always say in the end, you cannot defend them all. Not without making yourself, not without promoting and condoning their actions, thus making your own ass look guilty. But I'm going to stop it right here. Again, shout out to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. If y'all want to watch this video this full video in its entirety, I'll leave the link in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell them JD Mouse sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.